Welcome back to another Wayno's Photos video. And Canyon bikes just can't get out of the spotlight. They just can't win a trick. And the latest story is in the Lisa Min, Matthew van der Poel's handlebar broke away while he was riding. And this is this new award-winning, fully adjustable width handlebar that we're talking about here. Well, let's just have a discussion about what could have happened and if it was related to the design or if it's just a bit of bad luck for Canyon. Well, the actual failure point on Matthew van der Poel's handlebar was actually at the drop part, at the curvature part, right where the STI and the bang clamps clamped around the handlebar. So it actually had nothing to do with the adjustable part of the actual handlebar. That's the new revolutionary design that Canyon have brought out. So we can't actually put it down to, any interface between those parts or how it's bolted on, and, this new design hasn't been reliable because it actually had nothing to do with it. So we can actually rule that out of the actual equation that was the fail point. Well, carbon handlebars are actually a bit tricky to make and keep the quality control even, because when they make them, they need to be made in a mold, and some of them are actually joined at the actual point to where they go across the handlebars, and there's actually a join there as they go around, because they're actually quite difficult to make. Then you've got that very sharp curvature, and you need to put balloons inside to get the compaction like you do with a frame. And if those balloons don't blow up evenly, you can have uneven compaction and you can have delaminations. And due to the force and the size of them, you can actually have failures, and it's not unknown. I've heard of actually carbon handlebars coming off in people's hands. So I've had stories from my local bike shop about such things. So these sorts of things are, although they don't happen every day, they're not uncommon. So this could have been just, a bad handlebar, or it could have been damaged in transit, or been banged and it actually had some delaminations. And of course, then when they started riding and they were going over the cobbles, that sort of incipient fault actually reared its ugly head. There has been some speculation about the actual bang clamp that's used. Now, when you buy the Shimano STI, which it was in this case, they normally have about a 6 Newton meter torque that you actually tighten that bang clamp off. Now, what has been actually speculated is the bang clamp that was used on this handlebar was not a Shimano band clamp. It was a Canyon band clamp that is specific to be used with their handlebars. Now, I can't confirm this. Of course, it's this is what's being speculated by some people that I've in my research on this topic on the internet. So it cannot be confirmed. But if that's the case, that different band clamp may have actually damaged or broken some of the laminations in the carbon handlebar and made a weak spot, and that's why the bottom part broke off. Now, just looking at some of the photos and zooming in, there is actually a very neat line around where the bottom of the band clamp was, where that bottom part of the handlebar has just come off and gone, and you just see the STI hanging off. So this type of, theory could actually be true, but the evidence we've got is pretty minimal to support that type of, hypothesis. Well, there is a little bit of a discussion around carbon versus aluminium handlebars, and the people say, the carbon's lighter and all this, but I've actually done my own experiments, because when I bought bikes, I only put aluminium handlebars on now, and the reason is because there is some anecdotal evidence that aluminium handlebars are safer, and even if you just go, well, yeah, there's not much difference, carbon doesn't fail very often, or I don't believe it fails. Well, the weight difference in my experiments of weighing them is only something like about 50 grams between an aluminium handlebar and a carbon handlebar. So it's not like you're saving any significant weight. So why run the carbon handlebars? So if I was giving you guys any advice, because there is some cloud over carbon handlebars, and I think even some of the pros over the years have opted for aluminium handlebars, it's my advice that you stick with aluminium handlebars, because really the advantage of the actual carbon handlebars is actually really minimal. The weight difference is peanuts. And you can even try this yourself. Like when you go down the bike shop, get yourself some high quality aluminium bars and get yourself some carbon bars, and just get the bike shop to put them on some scales, and you'll see for yourself that the weight difference is minimal. And I was actually quite surprised that the amount was so small. So guys, in reality, we're just kind of weekend warriors, most of us, or we're just crip racers. We're just having a bit of fun on the weekends. Why take the risk with a carbon handlebar? Well, in conclusion, from what I can tell, I would probably have to say that it's actually probably got to do with this band clamp. It might have been tightened too much, but generally these mechanics are pretty meticulous, and I would find it hard to believe, unless they had a brain fade on the day, that they over tightened this band clamp. Or it could even be that they're using a new type of band clamp, and this band clamp actually has a sharp edge, or the design of it's quite different, and it actually puts significant pressure at the bottom rim of the actual band clamp, and causes a stress point in the handlebar. So it could be that as well, or could have been just that the handlebars actually had a delamination in it, and they were just a poor example from the batch. So any of these things could happen. But it really is quite poor, because if this reflects on the overall build quality of the bikes, it's not looking great for Canyon, because now they're trying to fix the seat post and get that out, which is good. I mean, even on my other video, if you check that out, where I'm talking about that, Canyon have actually said that they're looking into that to fix that. But now with this handlebar braking, it's really it's not looking good, because it's not like as if they're using a different brand handlebar like a lot of brands do. This is actually their proprietary handlebar. So it's not actually looking too great for them at the moment. But hopefully Canyon can respond. Maybe they can respond down below on this video, or they can make a public announcement, and hopefully we'll get some feedback from why this handlebar actually failed. Well, that's where I'm going to leave it, guys. And remember to leave your comments down below, because this is just speculation we're all talking about here, and it'd be nice to hear people's views and what they think. And I'll catch you in the next vid, guys. Cheers.